Right, as everyone went to take a toilet break. I want to try something, is it okay? Try what? Please do tell. Nothing significant, but we are actually running a labyrinth, and right now the most popular strategy has been spirit communication. It's a spell that only a shaman or spirit wielder can use. It allows you to find your desired path right away. Is there really magic that convenient? Oh, so even Kaguli-san didn't know. Actually, it was probably normal that she didn't know anything outside her own specialty. Well, I am a shaman. Can you tell me in detail about this spirit communication? Oh, wonderful timing. I was going to say that it wouldn't seem appropriate if I did it myself. This was perfect. A female teammate volunteered herself, saying that she could use spirit magic. I then explained spirit communication to her. Ah, I see. I understand now. She was skilled in the attribute of wind, and her communication with the spirit was very successful. Whoa, now we won't get lost. If we were to continue, we will meet a dead end. We should go back to the crossroads 3 blocks behind them on the way back, and take a turn to the east. But it's gonna be a huge project to construct the map. That's true. The caster would be exhausted after hearing the voice of the spirit for a prolonged period of time, so it was better to draft a map. In that case, Raphael-sensei would handle all that for me. It could print out a map and draft it almost as if it were using high-precision rendering software. Hey, hold on. If that's the case, I recall magic that can print out the image in your brain onto paper. That's right, there was magic like that. There was a spell book in the library called Mischief Magic illustrated a rather silly name. Report. Search complete, it is illusion magic sketch thought. That's it. I didn't remember proper spells, but for some reason, I could memorize this type of spell instantly. The slime cells are very great, and its memory is a lot better. It's almost the same as when I was human. Can anyone use illusion magic? Although I'm still an apprentice, I am a sorcerer. Then can you try to learn this spell, also? Regarding the means of sharing information, making use of telepathy net made things a lot easier. But for something that any average human could use, perhaps a spell would be more convenient. And it was then that. Proposal. The most suitable alternative would be illusion magic share thought. Oh, so you can do that. I taught sketch thought and share thought to the young man who claimed himself to be a sorcerer. He put them to work and found that map making became incredibly simple. Well, now we won't get lost. Perhaps we can even easily sketch the structure of the ruins using this magic. Investigations from now on will be so much easier. Well, it's great that my proposals were appreciated so much. We still won't be able to detect traps or magic mechanisms with the map. So don't get careless. While the teammates were cheering, Kaguli-san scolded them and quieted them down. She sure is something else. Without the need of me reminder, she didn't overlook the remaining risk. We headed down for the gate leading to the lowest level that day. And we reached our destination before dark. Day 3. Today we started from the gate leading to the bottom floor. We split up, with one group of people trying to decode the magic cast on the gate, and another group exploring the middle floor. I demonstrated how to do it yesterday, and today I would only be observing. Milim, Gopta and Ranga would join the exploration team. There's nothing to do, Rimuru-sama. How about making some tea for the people working? Understood. Just as Shion said, there really was nothing to do. However, I sometimes got questions from the team, so I felt satisfied in a way. Shion excitedly prepared the table and put down all the cups before pouring coffee into them from a magic flask. I had many feelings witnessing this scene. Not too long ago, I wouldn't permit Shion to prepare any food. Here it is. Does anyone want to have a drink? Shion's words set us into a short break. Hot coffee was quite popular. We spent a short and peaceful time together. Despite how casual I looked, I was still on guard against any ambushes. Although there wasn't any sign of that just yet. I hope this is just me overthinking things. However, now that I was no longer with Eldora, this would be the perfect opportunity for Mariabelle and her conspirators to strike. I should remain vigilant and observe quietly. I didn't forget to keep an extra eye on Kaguli-san and her team. I checked with my analyze and assess and didn't detect any suspicious individuals. Their abilities were just as they were told. They weren't corrupted by desire either, therefore there was no sign of them being manipulated. If one of these people were indeed brainwashed, then my eyes, or rather, the eyes of Wisdom King Raphael, must have been deceived. But that's highly unlikely to have happened. However, it would be different if they were obeying willingly rather than having been brainwashed. There was that possibility as well, so I couldn't be careless. Although I didn't think they would pose much threat with their abilities. Based on these considerations, I sipped on my coffee nonchalantly. After some time, Milim came back with a bunch of stuff in hand. Rimuru, check this out. I've got so many trophies. To be more accurate, her hands were empty as she sat on Ranga. The couple members of the team as well as Gopta were forced to hold on to all sorts of items. See, all of these have a bunch of magic. These alone should make us bank, right? Milim was right, most of her trophies were gear. This was already elite gear crafted by master smiths when they were first made. With the times they have endured, their magisteel has completely matured, making their quality skyrocket. Oh, it's true. Even though they wouldn't be worth much as artwork, there are still many impressive weapons here. Right. Check this out, this one is unique grade. This stuff was for real. We couldn't just leave them lying around, these were highly valuable. Where did you find all these? I asked Milim, as I was a bit confused. There's no way Clayman would just leave this stuff laying around. Actually, I accidentally triggered some traps and a bunch of films came out. These guys had this gear on them. Hold up, now I can't just ignore what she said. You triggered a trap. Nah, not like that. It was triggered as soon as I entered the hallway, even you wouldn't be able to evade that. Right. We were using magic to investigate every hallway for traps. We definitely weren't being careless. According to Milim and Gopta's accounts, they did not slip up. The other teammates testified for them as well, so it was the truth. It looked like the location had stored some sort of response patterns of specific types of creatures. The trap would be triggered when anyone outside of the registered patterns entered. In that way, unless the visitors knew the wavelengths needed to pass beforehand, there was no way anyone could have decoded that. You could only fight your way through. Then that can be helped. By the way, I didn't know there were such complex traps. That taught us a great lesson. We should set traps like these in our labyrinth as well. So only the registered individuals could pass through the hallway. Perhaps this entire floor was used to battle against invaders of the tomb. In other words, it is reasonable to deduce that there are many other golems wearing unique grade gear. I never expected that when left alone for so long, the weapons would be able to evolve. How surprising. Kagoli-san was right. Luckily, Milim and Gopta followed them, or the teammates might have been killed by the golems. Nothing happened yesterday, so I was rather reassured. But there may be other traps on this floor. However, don't panic just yet. From tomorrow onward, we need to be much more cautious in doing our work. You have a point. Analyzing this door seems to need more time. Tomorrow. Kagoli-san was abruptly cut off as the earth suddenly began to shake. Including the ruins, the area suddenly experienced a huge energy reaction. Bits of stone were falling from the ceiling, which only added to the feeling of oppression and fear. What is happening? Let's get out now, this place is gonna collapse. The teammates began to panic before Kagoli-san scolded them loudly and told them to calm down. Quite. The duration of the vibration was short, it was not an earthquake. A solid structure like this wouldn't collapse so easily. Let's all stay calm and find a place for shelter. Her shout calmed them down. These teammates were pretty mature. What was it just now? Gopta asked me in a calm voice. The shock wave seemed to come from the surface, and it was quite strong. The castle may have been affected as well. If anything were to happen, we still have portals to help us, so there's no need to panic. Upon thinking so, I gave my answer to Gopta. But, with that being said, Kagoli-san hit the nail on the head. It was not an earthquake. It was a local energy reaction. It must have been man-made. I was also concerned about the situation on the surface, to the point that I was considering whether I should take a look outside. It was then that I had a certain intuition. Report. Hostile intent detected. The defense mechanisms within the ruins seem to have been activated. It has been confirmed that multiple golems were on the move. In addition, someone was invading the ruins. The alarm bells were set off. Some sort of mechanical voice suddenly began to blare. Amelita has been infiltrated. Exterminate invaders. Amelita has been infiltrated. Exterminate invaders. The repetition of the voice gave me nothing but a premonition of danger. The situation just went downhill real fast. The surface also wouldn't be safe, and the insides of the ruins were also in a state of emergency. How can this be? The entire ruins, all of Amelita's defense mechanisms have been activated on their own. Now even Kagoli-san was panicking. Her calm demeanor just now disappeared. There seemed to be invaders. They must have triggered the traps. But, even if we stress that we weren't the ones who triggered them, the golems won't understand. I answered this way, yet I was starting to suspect Kagoli-san. She was standing close to the door. Could she have triggered the defensive mechanisms without my seeing? Moreover, the timing seemed too good to be true. As soon as the invaders came, the alarm went off. This seemed calculated no matter how you see it. Milim, is there a problem? No, I haven't picked up anything yet. Secret conversations using telepathy net or magic communication would be picked up by Milim. So there was no use hiding it, yet there didn't seem to be any reaction this time. I was suspecting that Kagoli-san was working with the invaders. Looked like I was overthinking things. Then, is Kagoli-san innocent? Answer. Cannot be determined. The soul corridor is connected. They can utilize secret channels of telepathy net. I see, so I still can't put my guard down. I didn't want to start fighting my enemies while in the company of a suspected spy. It'd be pretty convenient if they would abandon and leave us alone, but that wouldn't be right. This is not looking good. The invaders were probably the same organization that got their eyes on us. Can't believe they are real. That earthquake must have been them. But they decided to target a demon lord. Just how stupid can they be? Their reactions seemed genuine. There weren't any suspicious teammates. If that's the case, I think I can get the picture now. Let's protect everyone here and defeat the enemies. Rest assured, I promise that I will protect every one of you guys. This surprised a couple of teammates. They probably thought that I would leave them to their death. I'd be hurt that way. We only just managed to become close. I hope they would put more trust in me. Rimuru, is it just like what you expected? Yes. Whether it is them taking the bait, or me, let's find out. Just as Raphael-san had predicted, the enemies had been lured out by us. But how did they manage to get in? I guess I'm not gonna ask about that. If they were hand-picked elites, it was probably a piece of cake sneaking past the dark elves on the surface and inside the castle, and then getting into the ruins. This time, let's decide who's the victor here. I expected this to happen a long time ago. I had planned out the strategies in response, so there was no need to panic. We would be facing our enemies as planned.